The world's most advanced fighter jet has been flying in complete secrecy for 5 years. China just revealed their answer to America's dominance, and it's already obsolete. While Beijing celebrates their new J-36 prototype, Boeing's F-47 is quietly rewriting the rules of aerial warfare. This isn't just another military rivalry. This is the moment America proves why our skies will remain untouchable for decades to come. The race for sixth-generation air superiority just reached its climax, and the results might shock you. When President Trump stood in the Oval Office this past March and announced the F-47 NGAD program, he wasn't just unveiling another fighter jet. He was delivering a message to every adversary who dares challenge American air power. But here's what makes this story incredible. While China was desperately trying to catch up with their J-36, our engineers were already 5 years ahead. The experimental versions of the F-47 have been dominating test flights since 2020, perfecting technologies that make science fiction look primitive. Today, we're going to break down exactly why China's latest attempt at matching American innovation will fail spectacularly. From stealth capabilities that make the F-22 look like a museum piece, to artificial intelligence that thinks faster than any pilot alive, the F-47 represents everything our military does better than anyone else on Earth. If you're as proud of American military superiority as we are, let us know in the comments below. And stick around, because what you're about to learn will make you even more confident in our nation's defense capabilities. The development race reality. Here's the truth that defense analysts around the world are whispering. China's J-36 program is a desperate attempt to close a gap that's already impossibly wide. While their engineers were still figuring out basic stealth design principles, America was flying full-scale sixth-generation demonstrators. The timeline tells the whole story. Boeing and Lockheed Martin began flying NGAD X-planes in 2019 and 2022, logging hundreds of hours of secret test flights. These weren't just concept vehicles, they were fully functional prototypes proving out technologies that China can't even imagine yet. Meanwhile, China's J-36 made its first public appearance in December 2024. Think about that for a moment. While we were perfecting sixth-generation capabilities in complete secrecy, China was just beginning to show the world what they hope might someday compete. But here's where it gets even better for America. General David Alvin, our Air Force Chief of Staff, recently revealed that Boeing is already manufacturing the first production F-47, not designing, not planning, actually building. The first flight is scheduled for 2028, with operational capability by 2029. China's program? They don't even have a confirmed timeline for when their prototype might become operational. Industry experts believe the J-36 won't see service until at least 2030, and that's if everything goes perfectly, which it never does in military development. This isn't just a head start, it's a fundamental difference in how serious nations approach national defense versus how wannabe superpowers play catch-up. Stealth technology supremacy. Now let's talk about why the F-47 will be invisible when it matters most. The stealth technology built into this aircraft isn't just an improvement over previous generations. It's a complete revolution in how we hide from enemy radar. Air Force officials describe the F-47 as having state-of-the-art stealth technologies, making it virtually unseeable. But what does that actually mean in combat terms? It means that while enemy radar operators are desperately scanning their screens, our pilots will already be in position to eliminate threats before anyone knows they're there. The F-22 Raptor, our current air superiority champion, has a radar cross-section smaller than a marble. The F-47 takes this concept to levels that were considered impossible just 5 years ago. Advanced radar-absorbent materials, revolutionary aerodynamic shaping, and computational stealth design combine to create an aircraft that exists in a different category entirely. Compare this to China's J-36, which defense analysts describe as designed to be at least somewhat stealthy. That's not confidence-inspiring language when you're facing the most advanced military on the planet. The J-36's large size and 3-engine configuration actually work against stealth principles, making it easier to detect on multiple sensor types. But here's the real kicker. American stealth isn't just about radar anymore. The F-47 incorporates thermal management systems that control heat signatures, acoustic dampening that reduces noise footprints, and even electromagnetic signature reduction that makes the aircraft nearly invisible to multiple detection methods simultaneously. When Chinese radar operators finally realize there's an F-47 in their airspace, it'll already be too late. Artificial intelligence integration. Before we dive deeper, please take a second to like this video and subscribe. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. The F-47 doesn't just carry artificial intelligence, it thinks with it. This is where American technological superiority becomes absolutely devastating to any potential adversary. While China's J-36 might eventually incorporate some basic AI systems, the F-47 was designed from the ground up as an AI-enabled weapons platform. Here's how this changes everything. Traditional fighter pilots spend precious seconds processing information, making decisions, and executing responses. The F-47's AI systems analyze threats, calculate optimal responses, and present solutions to pilots in milliseconds. This isn't just faster thinking, it's superhuman thinking. The aircraft's sensor fusion capabilities process data from dozens of sources simultaneously. Ground-based radar stations, satellite feeds, drone reconnaissance, and the F-47's own advanced sensors all contribute to a real-time battlefield picture that's more complete than anything ever achieved in military history. But the most game-changing aspect is how the F-47 controls drone wingmen. While the pilot focuses on high-level strategy, the aircraft's AI systems coordinate with multiple collaborative combat aircraft, directing them in reconnaissance missions, electronic warfare operations, and even offensive strikes. Imagine a single F-47 pilot commanding a formation of 10 autonomous drones, each specialized for different mission roles. The Chinese J-36, with its 2-person crew, can't even begin to match this level of battlefield coordination. The result is what military strategists call decision dominance, the ability to make better decisions faster than your enemy. In air combat, this advantage is typically fatal for whoever lacks it. Performance and capability comparison. Let's break down the raw performance numbers that tell this story in cold, hard facts. The F-47 NGAD achieves a combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles, with speeds greater than Mach 2. But these aren't just impressive statistics, they represent operational capabilities that China simply cannot match. The combat radius advantage is crucial for Pacific theater operations. American bases in Japan, Guam, and Australia suddenly become launching points for missions deep into contested airspace. The F-47 can reach targets that China assumed were safe behind their defensive barriers, then return home without requiring vulnerable aerial refueling operations. Speed isn't just about getting there faster, it's about energy management in combat. An aircraft traveling at Mach 2+ carries enormous kinetic energy that translates directly into tactical advantages. Higher speed means better missile evasion, superior positioning for attacks, and the ability to disengage from unfavorable situations before enemies can respond. China's J-36, despite its three-engine configuration, faces fundamental physics problems. Larger aircraft require more power to achieve the same speeds, consume more fuel to maintain them, and generate larger infrared signatures that enemy sensors can detect. The J-36's size, which Chinese engineers probably considered an advantage, actually becomes a liability in real combat scenarios. The F-47's adaptive cycle engines represent another technological breakthrough that China lacks. These power plants can adjust their characteristics in real time, optimizing for fuel efficiency during long-range cruise or maximum thrust during combat maneuvers. It's like having multiple engines in one, controlled by artificial intelligence that makes adjustments faster than any human pilot could manage. Meanwhile, the J-36 relies on conventional engine technology that hasn't fundamentally changed in decades. This isn't just a performance gap, it's a generational technology difference. Systems integration and network warfare. The F-47 doesn't fight alone. It commands an entire ecosystem of military assets that work together in ways our adversaries can't comprehend. This family of systems approach represents how modern warfare actually works when you have the technological base to implement it properly. Every F-47 serves as a node in America's military network, sharing information instantly with satellites, ground stations, naval vessels, and other aircraft. Real-time data flows in both directions, creating a battlefield awareness picture that's impossible to achieve with isolated platforms. When an F-47 pilot looks at their display screens, they're not just seeing what their own sensors detect. They're seeing everything that every American military asset within range is observing, analyzed, and presented in a format that enables split-second decision-making. The drone integration capabilities take this concept even further. Each F-47 can coordinate with multiple collaborative combat aircraft, essentially multiplying one pilot's effectiveness by factors of 10 or more. These aren't just remote-controlled devices. They're AI-enabled systems that can operate semi-independently while maintaining perfect coordination with their manned command aircraft. Compare this to China's approach with the J-36. Despite having 2 crew members, their aircraft operates more like a traditional fighter-bomber, heavily dependent on ground-based command and control systems that are vulnerable to jamming and attack. The side-by-side seating arrangement suggests they recognize the complexity problem, but adding more humans isn't the solution when your competition is using artificial intelligence. The J-36's larger payload capacity might seem impressive until you realize that modern warfare isn't about carrying the biggest bombs. It's about delivering the right effects at exactly the right time with perfect coordination. The F-47's network-centric approach achieves more devastating results with smaller, smarter weapons that hit precisely when and where they'll have maximum impact. Production and deployment advantages. Here's where American military industrial superiority becomes absolutely crushing. Boeing didn't just win the F-47 contract, they've already invested billions in manufacturing capabilities specifically designed for 6th-generation production. The company made the most significant investment in the history of our defense business to ensure America maintains its technological edge. The production timeline reveals everything you need to know about who's serious and who's pretending. Boeing is already building the first F-47 airframes, with first flight scheduled for 2028 and operational capability by 2029. The Air Force plans to purchase at least 185 aircraft, possibly more, depending on threat assessments and budget allocations. China's production plans for the J-36 remain completely unclear. No confirmed orders, no established timeline, no production facilities specifically tooled for the aircraft. This isn't how serious military powers approach critical defense programs, But here's the most telling detail. President Trump revealed that lighter variants of the F-47 may be sold to U.S. allies. This means our closest partners could operate aircraft that are still more advanced than China's best attempts at military aviation. Australian, British, Japanese, and other allied pilots could be flying technology that makes the J-36 obsolete before it even enters service. The economic implications are staggering. While China spends enormous resources trying to develop one competitive aircraft, America is preparing to field sixth-generation capabilities across multiple allied air forces. This multiplies our advantages while spreading development costs across partners who contribute to continued innovation. China's approach? Build a few prototypes, hope they work, and pray that nobody notices they're still fighting tomorrow's wars with yesterday's technology. Strategic and tactical implications. The introduction of the F-47 NGAD changes the strategic balance in the Pacific in ways that Chinese military planners probably haven't fully grasped yet. This isn't just about having better aircraft, it's about fundamentally altering how air power projects force across the world's largest ocean. Current Chinese defensive strategies rely heavily on creating no-go zones where American forces supposedly can't operate effectively. Long-range missiles, integrated air defenses, and geographic barriers combine to create what Beijing hopes will be impenetrable defensive barriers around their territorial claims. The F-47 makes these strategies obsolete overnight. With combat radius exceeding 1,000 nautical miles, stealth capabilities that defeat current detection systems, and AI-enabled coordination with drone formations, the F-47 can penetrate any defensive system China has or is likely to develop in the next decade. But the strategic implications go beyond just reaching targets. The F-47's network warfare capabilities mean that every mission provides intelligence benefits that persist long after individual aircraft return to base. Chinese defensive positions, radar capabilities, and response patterns all become known quantities that improve the effectiveness of future operations. The psychological impact might be even more significant. Chinese military leaders know their forces are already struggling to compete with current American capabilities. The introduction of sixth-generation technology that's years ahead of their best efforts sends a clear message about the futility of military confrontation with the United States. For American allies in the region, the F-47 represents the ultimate security guarantee. Japan, South Korea, Australia, and others can be confident that their alliance with America provides protection that no potential adversary can overcome through military force. This is how deterrence actually works, not through threats or posturing, but through demonstrated capabilities so superior that rational adversaries choose cooperation over confrontation. Technological maturity and testing. The secret to the F-47's inevitable dominance lies in something that can't be faked or rushed: extensive testing and technological maturity. While China celebrates their first public flight of the J-36 prototype, American test pilots have been refining sixth-generation capabilities for years. DARPA-funded X-planes have logged hundreds of flight hours, proving out every critical system under real-world conditions. This isn't just theoretical capability. It's battle-tested technology that's been refined through actual flight experience. The learning curve that China is just beginning, America completed years ago. The Air Force's approach to the NGAD program demonstrates institutional wisdom that comes from decades of successful military aircraft development. Instead of rushing to show off prototypes, American engineers focused on solving the hard problems first: stealth integration, AI systems, network coordination, and adaptive engine technology. This methodical approach explains why the F-47 will enter service as a mature, reliable weapon system, while China's J-36 will likely suffer through years of modifications, upgrades, and problem-solving that should have been completed during development. When Chinese pilots eventually fly operational J-36 aircraft, they'll be operating first-generation systems while American pilots command technology that's already been perfected through years of secret testing and refinement. Outro. The F-47 NGAD represents more than just technological superiority. It's proof that American innovation, industrial capability, and military expertise remain unmatched anywhere in the world. While our adversaries struggle to copy yesterday's achievements, we're already perfecting tomorrow's capabilities. China's J-36 program will undoubtedly continue because authoritarian regimes can't admit their limitations. But the technical realities can't be changed through propaganda or wishful thinking. The F-47 will dominate because it represents the accumulated advantages of the world's most successful military-industrial system. For every American who values our national security, the F-47 program should be a source of immense pride. Our military continues to set standards that others can only dream of reaching. If this analysis opened your eyes to America's continued military dominance, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more insights into how our forces maintain their edge. The future of American air power has never looked brighter.